Good morning and welcome to Purpose-Driven Finances, where our focus is helping you use your finances to achieve the purpose and plan for your life. And now here's the host of Purpose-Driven Finances, Allan Molina with Serwus Capital Management.
Hey, good morning. This is Allan Molina, your host, Purpose-Driven Finances, President of Serwus Capital Management. How you doing this almost fall, September, Saturday? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying the weather. Getting out this last weekend, my wife and I, we went out to a state park. It was called Grayson Highlands. It's the same place Mount Rogers is. And it was pretty fantastic. Rich, do you go to state parks very much? Guess what else we did? Guess what else we did?
What?
Your number two thing.
Antiquing?
Yes.
Yeah.
We went to a place called Hillsville, where they have the entire town shuts down, and all these vendors from across the East Coast go.
Where? That's like real Southwest Virginia?
Yeah.
I think that's Frank Beamer's hometown.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
Oh, there you go.
That's a great,
It's a little tidbit.
I love it, man.
Good.
I love it. So we went there, and it was an exciting hike, and we went up this first one. It was rather boring, but Grayson Highlands, it's a beautiful place. And I figure you're a camping guy, so it's a great place. I've heard to go camping. You can take your horse, and
You know me so well.
exactly, I do. I just bring out all these nuggets about you, Rich. It's exciting. But folks, thank you for listening to Purpose Driven Finances. If you have any questions or concerns, or you want me to help you do some financial planning, portfolio management, give me a call at 434-316-0246 or get on my website, servuscm.com. Now, Rich, in this past week, we've had a lot of data, and we had non-farm payrolls come out on Friday, and they were a big disappointment. And then the past few months were revised. The biggest issue that came out is they're expecting, I believe, October to lower interest rates 2 times. I think it's September. There's so many dates going on in my head, But the next Federal Reserve meeting, some folks are saying reduce the rates by 50 basis points. I think it's going to be 25. But then the problem is inflation is going to start creeping up, and it's probably going to hit 3.10. It's like 2.7, 2.8 right now, somewhere in that range. And so what I wanted to do is, get ready for the next 9 months, and I'm looking for great things, buy the dips. Don't sell the rips, buy the dips, and we should have some great times coming forward. But what I thought we'd do is talk about interest rates a little bit. And there's a lot of consternation on CNBC, Fox Business, with your advisors about what happens with interest rate changes. And what's really interesting is, Rich, like 2.5 months ago, we could buy a 3-month Treasury, I think at 4.5%, which isn't bad. I think they've dropped all the way down to 3.10.
Are we seeing that same decrease in mortgage rates and loan rates and, business loans?
That's a great question.
Car loans?
I have no idea. Aren't you glad that
I'm glad I asked.
Aren't you glad I'm a straight shooter, and I don't make something up? Because if I made something up,
that's not really your business.
Right, it isn't. And like if a client says, "Hey, Allan, where are mortgage rates?" Guess what I do? I go over here and I say, "What is mortgage rates?" And then it tells me what the average mortgage rate is, and then I go from there. But what I'm expecting is, I don't even know what they are yet. Well, I'll look at them over the break. But make a long story short, it's interesting because the inflation and the economy seems to be slowing a little bit, but it also doesn't seem to be slowing very much. But the biggest issue is we have the federal government issuing a lot of debt, and you have the political issues of Trump. I don't know if you saw it, but one of the Federal Reserve people serving on the Federal Reserve, Trump fired her.
Mm-hmm.
because of mortgage fraud, or I think I'm supposed to say alleged.
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 Yes, of course.
And
CYA, baby.
right, alleged. And so that being said, she said she's not going to step down. But what's going to end up happening is the Supreme Court is actually going to hear the case and determine what's going
Not
to
her
happen.
sorority sister?
You never know. Right. I didn't hear about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Her sorority sister was a judge on. I don't know the exact details if it was this case or a previous case, but she was involved in it.
Oh, wow.
And she's being tried in front of a sorority sister, I believe.
What the heck, man? Hey,
How's that for integrity?
yeah, no kidding. This is about an hour ago. The 30-year dropped to 6.29%. And you say, where was it? I don't know. I'll try to find that out for you as well. But so it's a significant drop. So I'm thinking probably if it dropped down to 6.29, 6.5, it was probably near 6 3/4, 7. So it's slowly dropping, but you won't see significant drops until the Federal Reserve actually lowers interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm expecting is probably the next 9 months to be, actually it's not 9 months, it's probably, about 9 months. I'm thinking the second quarter of next year is when we will probably see some significant market volatility. But that's a long way away. Got any questions for me? I think it's great.
I don't. I mean, I'm looking at the clock, and
yeah,
I mean, you kind of breezed through that segment.
I did, because there really wasn't much going on. So let's talk about the new. Let's do a quick review of last week and really where we are. What I want to do is we're going into about a 2-month window of what's my number, and realistically around the number that you need in order to achieve the purpose and plan for your life. Rich, I get my hair done at a great place on.
It's beautiful.
It's just amazing, isn't it? It's just just amazing.
I like the little spikies that you got going.
Oh yeah,
there.
There's a song that I play for my son.
Oh God.
I give him a hard time because I don't know about your sons, but they're always looking in the mirror, or in the reflection in the window.
Right.
So that sexy and I know it. I play it for him. Just to rib him a little bit. But what I'm talking about is the number. I was talking to him. I never know what to call those people who do your hair. If you go to a barber, it's pretty easy. It hadn't changed over like 400
Do you see
years.
a stylist?
I see a stylist.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And she wants me to come like every 5 weeks. And I'm like, no, I've budgeted a certain amount of money. And so every time you go up, I'm just going to extend the duration of my haircut. Because I have friends that go like every 3 weeks. And
What do you pay?
$60.
Holy cow!
That's for the tip.
Yeah.
So I only go
You're
once.
like a woman.
Well,
I guess you got to look good, right?
Well, or attempt to. And so what I do is I go there and I gave her a $10 tip.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
Because I just round up. And but I told her, I said, listen, I've budgeted $30 a month. I'm not going to, so I got it cut about a week ago, and it's not for another till beginning of November.
So you got 2 months.
That's yes.
No matter what it looks like.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Back in the day at Merrill Lynch, I would get it cut like every 5 or 6 months. You just use more hair product. I know people are like, what the heck, Allan? This is financial planning.
Dude, I'm blown away by the fact that you spend $50 to get your hair cut.
I know. It doesn't look
Plus tip.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
It is, Could be worse. I
mean, do you get like pampered treatment or what?
It's an enjoyable experience. It used to be better, but my wife likes the way she cuts my hair, so everything's happy.
Well, as long as Pam's happy,
yeah,
everyone's happy.
So,
does Pam know what you spend on it?
oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
So that being said, everybody. So I was talking to my hairstylist, and she, we were talking about it and about goals, and I said, "Where do you want to go on a trip?" And she told me, and I was talking. I said, "Everybody has a number," and so over the next 2 months, we're going to be talking about a number for a travel, for retirement, car insurance, health insurance, maybe, but risk and property and casualty, education, all sorts of things. And so today, Rich, what I thought we would do is to help people help me. And what I mean by that is I've been really blessed, and I'm thankful for all the new listeners, but also the people who listen on a weekly basis, but also everybody who's called me. The past month has been a glorious event with the new clients I've gotten. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. But a lot of times when I meet with people, they're like, Allan, what do you mean? I haven't really thought about that, or I haven't written it down. Because, Rich, I know you're into leadership and growing and improving and being the best Rich you can be.
Really? You know that?
I know that, man.
You do?
At least it should be.
Okay.
I've seen the books you read. And one of the things about goals is if you write them down and then you communicate them, it makes them more real and you can actually achieve it. So that's what I try to get people to do, is write them down. So we're going to go through a good number of steps. It looks like I have 7 steps on here of how to figure out your number. And then next week, because that way when you come see me, I can more easily help you, because I'm a math guy, and determining what you need and how you need it just goes really well. So folks, stick around. We're going to go to a minute break. Give me a call, 434-316-0246.
Hey, this is Jonathan Falwell, pastor of Thomas Road Baptist Church, and we want to invite you to come out to be a part of all that God is doing at Thomas Road. Whether it's through our groups program, whether it's through worship on Sunday mornings, our sports programs, camp programs, all of the different things that we have each and every week, we have something for you. And so I want to encourage you, go to our website at trbc.org to check out all the opportunities where you can connect and become part of a church that loves God and that loves people. Join us today.
Hi everyone, Brian Kilmeade here. Coming up on the next edition of the Brian Kilmeade Show, we'll have the biggest newsmakers, news breakers, and take a deep dive into news you care about. Whether it's breaking news, entertainment, politics, or sports, even pop culture, I'll bring you the latest developments with expert analysis from the big names you know and love. Plus, you never know who may stop by. That's all coming up on the next edition of the Brian Kilmeade Show.
Weekday mornings from 9 to noon on WLNI. And now, back to Purpose-Driven Finances. Here's Allan Molina with Serwus Capital Management.
Hey, good morning. This is Allan Molina again, host of Purpose-Driven Finances, president of Serwus Capital Management. Hope you're having you got a refill of your coffee or whatever. And Rich, everybody knows I like the energy drink bank. I finally found it.
Where?
It was at Wawa. So
where's Wawa here? Was it not here?
No, it was down in Richmond.
I know.
Was it Richmond? I don't know where it was.
I know Wawa's coming.
It was Richmond. I think they're building a Wawa down 29.
Yeah, right
near the airport,
right near Joe Bean's, right kind of across the street from Joe Bean's, and then further down is a Rofo.
Right,
Royal Farms.
And so that's a good thing.
Where Lynchburg's arrive when it gets a Wawa.
Exactly.
Royal Farms.
Exactly. So, Rich, let's talk about figuring out your number.
Okay.
Just being very, very practical. Now, the reason I'm doing this is the first step is goal setting. Figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it, where you want to go, and how you want to achieve it. And, clarify your life and financial goals first. What do you mean? It can be retirement, college, travel, giving, home legacy. I did some numbers, and I'm hoping I included it. On the last page, I was looking at if you want to do a kitchen remodel, and everything from a just a redo all the way to a very luxurious.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised at how expensive they can get. Oh my word! If you do the high end kitchen remodel, over $100,000.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I didn't realize that. And the reason I did that.
Well, I mean, you're talking new cabinets, new appliances, new everything.
Right. If you go high end, I'm trying to, we built our house. I want to have you guys over, watch a Jets game.
I don't know that I'm interested in that.
Okay. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate that.
The Jets game, I mean.
Mm-hmm. And in my kitchen, I've tried to convince Pam to let me do the backsplash.
Uh-huh.
I like to do it in that video because you can get it to where it goes all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
See, I haven't sold her on that yet. I'm trying. So you can tell her how great of an idea that is.
And it's a video?
It can be anything you want. You can have like flowers in spring. You can have your football team on, whatever. That would be awesome.
So basically you're watching TV while you're standing in the kitchen.
Yeah. If you want that. Or you could have like Monet's paintings or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So have a goal. And so I've for the show, I did a lot of research around some of the items. And so your number depends on what you want and what you want your money to do for you. Now remember, your money should serve your purpose, not the other way around. All too often people serve their money when realistically money is just the tool to help you achieve the purpose and plan for your life. So that's the number one thing is to set goals. And a lot of people don't do that. It's hard for them. Number two is cost discovery.
Why is that hard? I know I'm skipping ahead and, but why is it hard to set a goal?
A lot of times in this busy world, people are so busy they don't take the time. They don't really actually think about it. They shoot off the hip. Like, I'm telling on my hairstylist, she was like, I don't plan on it. I just do what I want to do. And the problem with that is what happens if what you want to do is more money than you actually have? Then what it does is it leads to discouragement and frustration because you can't do what you want to do.
Or credit card debt.
Right. And so, or a fight with your significant other, or you're letting down your kids, or, instead of redoing the kitchen for $100,000, you're like, I didn't save a dime and I only have $8,000. So just get a bucket of paint and start painting, bro, But that being said, a lot of times it's hard for people. And also people are scared to set goals because they don't want to be discouraged or let down because they didn't achieve it. And they don't know what's realistic. A lot of times people have a hard time actually quantifying what they want. They don't take the time. I'm going to tell on Pam a little bit. She is so much into serving the family and others that sometimes she doesn't sit down and really communicate what she wants because she's so interested in the boys and what they're doing and the daily grind of life. And the grind could be fun or bad, but just the daily life. And you don't sit down. And what happens is a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road, you're like, crap, I didn't set the goal and I didn't achieve it.
Right. I got you. Okay.
So cost discovery, it really translates your goals into dollars, monthly living expenses, debt, healthcare, but also consider inflation. And, the illustration I have in our notes is retirement, but we're not really talking about that. But for inflation, I went through a couple things. And I mentioned to you before we started the show that in Virginia, the individual marketplace plans are expected to go up 20% next year in 2026.
Wow.
And some companies have actually put in a request to put up their premiums by 40%. I didn't Google who it is, but if you want the article, I can send it to you. Contact me. Small group plans up 11%. Employers are expected to pay an additional 6.5%. And that's a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's real money right there. I mean, real money. And next year, they're expected that per capita healthcare spending, it will go up 4.7%. That's,
And as you look at all this stuff, translating goals into dollars and, looking at travel or lifestyle upgrades or the kitchen remodel or
Right.
whatever, whatever you think it is, add how much? 10%?
Well, if you're doing a house, I've been told 20%.
Because there's always the extras. I mean, travel.
Right.
It's like, okay, here's what my trip's going to cost. Oh, wait, I got to board my 2 dogs for a week.
Right.
That's an extra $500 or
Right.
whatever the case might be.
Or, I want to get a great price flying out of Raleigh or Richmond. Well, how are you going to get there?
Yeah.
And once you get there, what are you going to do with the car?
And then, oh, yeah, you got a great price, but all they allow you is a personal item.
Right.
And you have more luggage.
Right.
And you have 4 people and it's $100 a bag. And
Exactly.
It's 2 ways and it's so you got to factor all that in.
You do. And then the other item is in your travels, make sure you eat and drink. I'm not talking about alcohol.
Oh.
Because the problem is if you drink...
that's in the budget.
Right. For some people it is. The problem, as you're flying, if you drink a lot of alcohol before, during, it can dehydrate you.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be an issue. And I don't know, last time you went to an airport, it's expensive. I mean, what the heck?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It is. I went to Cinnabon for the first time. And I said, hey, how many refills can I get for my Cinnabon cup? She says, Allan, as long as you're here with a Cinnabon cup, anywhere in the airport, and you come back here with a Cinnabon cup, free refills. I filled that thing up like 10 times. I'm not going to tell you about me missing my flight. That's another thing for another day. But cost discovery, figure out how much it's going to cost. But also,
because you kept running to the bathroom.
Exactly. That's all it was. Come on, bro. No, I don't have any Depends. But no, but what you need to do is, if your goal is set out a year or 2 years, inflation is a key thing. And retirement, looking at retirement way down the road. Number 3, communication with significant others.
Ooh.
This is hard, isn't it? It's hard because everybody is so busy that you're running around, husband's here, wife's there, wife's here, husband's there, traveling, going here, going there. And the problem is I'm going to use Pam and I. Pam, her idea of a vacation is a little different than mine. If Pam was the one over the money, we'd probably have like a lot more money, a lot more money. Because sometimes I'll just spend, and because I'm like, we need to eat, we need to take care of ourselves, and we just take do that.
But the reality is you can't take it with you.
You can't.
So you need to enjoy it within reason.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. And
I would imagine you mentioned the communication part, and I'm sure you've run into this a bunch. People are married, and now all of a sudden you're talking about retirement, and one wants to retire to the ocean, and one wants to retire to the mountains.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing.
That's easy?
No, that's okay. I'm sorry, not easy. That is a very common thing.
Okay,
very common. I used the wrong word. I apologize. But realistically, at times, it's easy to figure that out. And realistically, if they've been married for any amount of time, they both know that. And so what I tell them to do is just move to California. You get both.
You get both.
Unless they want to go in the water. Because in California, you can't go in the water. It's so cold. Unless you get a wetsuit.
And can you afford California?
Yeah, exactly. And so what ends up happening is spouses or partners have different priorities. And, what does the house look like? What kind of car do you want to drive? And, what kind of food do you want to eat? And avoid surprises. Because one problem that you have is when you have a couple sitting in my office And you're like, so what does this or that look like? And normally it's two different stories. But what it does is it causes people to talk, to communicate. So, number 5, calculating the numbers. So what I did, Rich, is I did a hypothetical. We'll go more in depth down the road.
Okay.
But I just wanted to give some ideas. So when people come to visit me, to do some financial planning, it's no cost. I want to help you achieve the purpose and plan for your life. So let's calculate the number for a trip overseas. The problem with that is the first issue is it going to be to the Amalfi Coast? I don't know if you ever looked at the Amalfi Coast.
I've not.
Do you know what it is?
Heard of it.
Yeah, it's in Italy. It says blue water, white buildings, Pompeii, things like that. I looked into it. $1,500 a day, bro. $1,500 a day.
Just to stay there?
Yes.
Just for a room?
Yes.
Is this like a nice house right on the water?
Well, it's not like Myrtle Beach on the water. It's like up in the town. I mean, it's expensive.
But I mean, like a nice house or just a room?
It's not a house. It's probably a little suite.
Okay, wow.
I mean, it's expensive.
Like a little condo.
Well,
not even.
I mean, you have to think about the buildings on the Amalfi Coast have been there like 300 years.
Okay.
I mean, it's expensive. Or are you going to Africa into the bush, where a hut is like $1 for a whole month? It's what does it look like to you? And so the factors, what I ask people is, the food you're going to eat. Do you want 5-star? Do you want 3-star? Have you ever eaten at a 5-star restaurant?
Not often, but yes.
We may have gone once or twice. I can't stand it. It's so slow, and it's so small. Maybe it's for the experience, and if you're dining with clients or something.
Well, I mean, so much of it's the presentation too.
Right.
Right. It's like these fancy designs and all these garnishes and
drizzles.
Yeah.
I'm not a foodie. Pam would probably like it. Then the other item is are you going off season or in season? In the Amalfi Coast, as an example, it significantly drops in off season. But what I mean by significantly drops is probably $700-800. So are you going to go to a youth hostel? Going with your wife to a youth hostel is probably not the thing you want to do. Probably not the thing. And then the length of stay. How long are you going to go and what you're going to do? Also adjust for inflation, taxes, and healthcare. I ran some numbers. Did you know that from 2024 to 2025, the average house sale price went up 6% in Lynchburg? And you just need to adjust it. Airfare is only up 2.4%. Number 6 is flexibility in updating your number. Make sure you provide life changes and, because the number is not always set in stone. Also, update when life happens. Illnesses, inheritance, job changes. Finally, everyone has a number, but most don't know it. Here's what I want you to do. Give me a call at 434-316-0246, and let's do a discovery around your goals, the cost, the family, and the planning tools, because I'm here to help you achieve the purpose and plan for your life. Any last questions, Rich?
Yeah, we're going to do more on this, right?
Yeah, we're going to do like 2 months, and we're going to go deep into retirement, financial planning.
Good. I mean, I love the concept, but we got to get to the nitty-gritty.
We're going to get to the nitty-gritty. So, folks, stick around next week, and we're going to get into retirement planning next week. 434-316-0246. Have a great weekend.
Returns for illustrative purpose. This is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or use a platform. Only will a suggestion occur after a meeting to determine goals, risk tolerance, and time horizons. Investments involve risks and no guarantee of future results.